All right. It is Monday, December the 18th, 12:18. We're near the end of 2023. I do not have any idea what happened to this year. It just it was gone, disappeared. This year went by so fast. It was insane. But it's been a really good year and having a lot of success with our group. We have a lot of students in here who are developing their trading method, developing their algo, and we've even done some great live shows where people have come on and I've helped them, maybe take a look at their algo, see if we can find a way to refine it, make it a little tighter, bring out a little bit more profit. We've seen some successful trades. We had a hell of a trade over the weekend in Bitcoin. So I would, if you're just watching YouTube, know that on, I think it was yesterday. Yeah, it was yesterday. Entered a beautiful Bitcoin short. We'll take a look at that today. And we're also going to take a look at what the week holds in store. And then you can feel free in the comments to ask for charts, even if you are not an Algo Factory private member. If you are watching out on YouTube, first thing I want you to do is like, subscribe, notification bell. If you smash that like button, it's going to get more people over here. The bigger the group we have watching, the more powerful we are. We have a lot of resources. We have people in Algo Factory who actually are like coders, and they can help to code and hard code your algorithm to actually have that skill set. And the more people we have, the better. So but also, besides like, subscribe and all that stuff, and share and all that, you can ask for charts. If you say, hey, I like this altcoin, I like whatever, Solana, whatever your coin is, Celestia. If you want to see what that looks like on the charts right now, that's an option. I can chart that for you and give you a forecast. And none of it's investment advice. I just look at a chart and I say, I think this might happen. I think from a technical standpoint, this is what I think is going to happen to the charts. And people can take that information and do with it what they may. So that's an option. And that's a free thing we do Monday through Friday. Do it right here on YouTube. And we do it from 8:30 a.m. EST all the way up until 9, right? And then we go over to the private live lab and we continue for an entire hour after that. So we continue through the market open. We do live trading in there. If I see a trade I like, I'll enter it. I'll just do that even right here on this show if the opportunity presents itself. Although I tend not to trade before market open, at least on Monday. I tend to kind of hang back a little bit because I like to, see the money into the market on the New York Open. However, you can zap that QR code and that'll take you straight to our website. And look, we kick butt over there. I'm telling you right now. The trade I had yesterday, I think it ended up being almost a 2-to-1. So basically putting in, say, $1,000 to make $2,000, right? I'm trying to think of how much I put in, how much I made. Just doing the math in my head. Yeah, it was something like a 1.75 to 1 or something like that. It was just absolutely gorgeous. So yeah, we do it live. We do it right in front of you. And if you're, we're not like a signal room, it's not what we do. However, if I'm putting my trades up and you see my trades and, you do your own research, then, you might be able to do a similar trade to me where everybody makes money together. All right, cool. So let me bring up the screen. And we're going to take a look at, let's see here. We're going to take a look at what the week has in store really quick. Give me a second to adjust a few things up on the monitor. Let me crack open also Telegram, see if there are any comments in there. Okay. We're going to share El Screeno. Excuse the snuff in there. I took like a nose spray right before the show. Okay. We go over to the news. So we're going to take a look at the calendar at forexfactory.com. No news this morning. A little bit of news for the Asian session. We have the Aussie monetary policy meeting minutes. So that means that the monetary policy for Australian dollar, I think, was last week, like basically their version of the Fed Open Market Committee, where they come on and they say, okay, we're going to, raise rates, we're going to cut rates, and whatever they decide to do. And I think that was last week. So the meeting minutes are basically like somebody watches the meeting. And this is the meeting that it didn't happen during the press conference. The press conference is what everybody got to see. The meeting is what all of the members of their board spoke about beforehand, right? So they all sit in a meeting and they all talk. They all have a discussion and they say, okay, this is why we think this. This is why we think that. Well, those minutes are going to be a bit revelatory and they're going to explain their thought process. Now, the press conference should pretty much have said most of those same things as were said during the minutes. However, a lot of times the minutes can say things that the presser didn't say. So people, once these are released, the people kind of analyze this really, really tightly. And it happens also, I think it's going to be this week for the U.S. Minutes as well. So that's one to watch because, there might be something in there that might be a little bit different to what got said at the meeting. And that's going to probably add some volatility to the market. And then we have the monetary policy statement for the JPY, Bank of Japan. Now, the gorilla who just jumped into the room gave us a really, really awesome, analysis of the JPY, right, of the Japanese yen, and why the yen is going to do what we think it's going to do. I'm not going to say what that analysis says. I don't want to reveal what was given to our paid members, but that was awesome, V. Thank you for sharing that, brother.
You're quite welcome.
So how's your weekend, sir?
It is quite well.
Are you an Indian robot? I am Indian robot.
No, I am Indian help desk.
Indian. Do you want the plunger?
Plunger! I love it.
And as you can tell, if you're new to the YouTube, if this is your first time watching, we like to have a lot of fun around here. So, a lot of times, like, remember back in the day, like 2018, we were doing this in a different form, and someone wrote us an email or something, and they were like, "Oh, well, I worked hard for my money, and you guys are just joking around." And this was like, shut the dude, chill out, man.
like Vivek Ramaswamy taking down Van Jones on CNN. Yeah, it was just
wasn't that beautiful, dude? Look, I don't trust Vivek. First of all, Vivek got a bunch of money from George Soros to go to college, and he was on the left. So all of a sudden, he wakes up one day on the right and wants to run. I don't trust Vivek's ass. But
I woke up on the right myself. Not really. I was conservative from the moment I was born.
Not me,
I was
bro.
watching Meet the Press at 8.
I was raised conservative, but I went actually far left at university for a few minutes, and then I quickly realized that was stupid. And then I came back home.
I was listening to Bob Grant when I was 10. So
now you got to watch out, man. It's they get you at that university if you're not careful. But again, for me, it didn't last but a few minutes. I got involved. And I'm like, wait a minute, what are these people saying about white people? I'm out of here. That was stupid. But here's the thing about it: like, if you are of the wrong mentality, it's really easy to get caught up in stupidity, especially when you're a young man. I can't speak for what it is to be a young woman. I don't pretend to know what young women go through. But
what is a woman anyway? So
yeah, what is a woman anyway? But I'll tell you what, though, as a young man, you're looking at like, okay, so V, I don't know, were you told the same story as a kid? Go to get a degree and you can write your ticket. Did you get that speech?
Go to what?
Get a college degree, get a university degree, and you can write your ticket anywhere. Did you get that speech?
Oh yeah, you can write my ticket anywhere. Oh yeah.
They just told you shit like that, right? As a kid.
Stupid boomer shit.
That's boomer shit. And here's the thing about it: with the boomers, it worked in their time. So, look, in 1960,
Boomer Steve. You want me to play this Boomer Steve memes?
Yeah, bust it out. Bust it out.
When I was your age, I was able to get a summer job and pay for college tuition, $400.
Yeah. I mean, that's kind of now. There's some things that the new generation doesn't understand. And Velas will point it out to you, but I don't know if you understand how hard factory work is. It's like, well, you could just go get a job at a factory and pay for, bro. That factory work is so hard it breaks you. I mean, I know. Okay, so they got paid a fair wage. They got paid a fair wage, and not like now. But these bullshit jobs kids have nowadays ain't nothing, bro. Those jobs were hard ass jobs. They work their fingers to the bone. So there's some things about boomers that people don't want to talk about. But these memes are pretty good.
I'm sharing my screen. There it is.
Let me fix the screen so everyone can see it.
Yeah. There. Drives up federal deficit for 30 years. Hands the bill to his kids. Graduates from college. Gets hired. At my first job, I only made $15K a year. In 1979, that was the equivalent of $47,000. Got my dream job by responding to a classified ad. Graduates college. Doesn't move back in with parents. Follow the American dream. Did not wake up yet.
Yeah.
I mean, there's several. There's
a whole bunch of those,
I had a summer job. Yeah. When your tuition was $400. This is boomer Steve. An entire generation who climbed the socioeconomic ladder and then slammed the door shut on anyone else that could follow. Thanks.
Yeah, well, they're just a product of their environment. They were fed their own version of the shit at school, right? So you can't really blame them, but what you can blame them for is not understanding what's happening now. Because when I was at university and I graduated, ain't nobody hiring me. I mean, I had to go get I was always working at boiler rooms anyway. I paid for university with a couple of different methods. One of them, whatever. I always had 2 or 3 jobs, put it that way. And one of them, I was in boiler rooms. I was always in sales. That's boiler rooms. Yeah. So
what the hell are you doing? You're like a dancer?
I was a ballroom dancer. Yeah. I
paid for school. Because I was an
dancer.
expert in the tango and the cha-cha-cha.
Me and Kate plus 8, No. It's boiler rooms. Yeah. So basically what happened was once I woke up from my 6 months of being a leftard, I went ahead. I'm like, okay, this is stupid. I need to go make money. So I went and I got some sales jobs, and I just fell into selling loans. And then I just learned that was something I was really good at, just doing phone sales. And so I used to actually do that. And long story short, how do I put this? So I graduated and I was told, oh yeah, you get your degree. Nah, man, ain't nobody hiring you. No, they're not. I mean, you have to apply just like anybody else. Now, my degree was, eventually got me a job that I would not have gotten without the degree. So yeah, it was worth something, but that job was nothing, bro. Some job paid $42,000 a year. Sure, it had a company car and benefits. Eventually, it got up to the 100,000 range, after years. But I'll tell you what, it's not. You're not writing any tickets. I'd say if anything, looking back, this is my opinion, unless you're going for STEM, unless you're going for something like biology or you're going to be a scientist or an engineer. And for those, you generally have to go to grad school, not necessarily engineer, but for a doctor or whatever. Unless you're going to go to grad school for an ology, basically, college is just nothing. It's not going to get you jack. Unless you are every single box that you can check on, the oppressed classes. And then of course you could become the freaking president. Besides that, if you don't fit the oppression check boxes, then a degree that is not like a science degree or an engineering degree or any of that is not getting you anything. I would just go to a trade school. I just go learn a trade personally. I don't even know why we got onto this topic, but a trade school will teach you a trade. You'll actually have something useful. Yep. You don't need a degree to be in sales. You could. I mean, there is the argument a certain level of sales want to see a degree. So if you know somebody, I don't know, you could go to university, join a fraternity, right? And then, that way you can get your degree, and then your fraternity kind of hooks you up with a nice sales job somewhere. They're doing pharmaceuticals if you care to be in that. I'm just saying, I don't know, bro. Whatever. Or you can learn how to trade at Algo Factory. That might give you the opportunity to make unlimited money. There's always that. So we were looking at the week. BOJ And again, the gorilla gave us that just awesome look at the Japanese yen and what may happen to it. Because here's the thing, Japanese yen has been basically deflated, and the mechanisms behind, inflated, and the mechanisms behind that inflation are actually not understood, right? People don't really understand the infinite QE and the fact that Japan is on infinite QE and what that does to their future. I don't want to even say more than that. It was such a valuable piece that V gave us. I think it was on Saturday, bro. You working on a Saturday, giving us that? It's beautiful.
Yes, I think it was a Saturday, my friend.
I'm gonna cry, bro. I'm gonna cry.
Don't
you worked
cry.
on a Saturday.
Don't cry.
So anyway, we got tomorrow, 6:30 a.m. CAD, Canada. All right, so yeah, you're gonna see their CPI data come out, and that will probably, if you're trading the Canadian dollar, that might actually move markets a fair amount. But that's that. And then Wednesday, the British CPI, USD consumer confidence on Wednesday, which I want to say that's a weekly metric, if I'm not mistaken. It might not be, but that'll move markets. That'll be at 10 a.m. EST on Wednesday. That'll add some volatility. Thursday, unemployment claims is every week, but the final GDP quarter over quarter, that's going to be something to pay attention to. So Thursday, right as we start this show, 8:30 EST, the final GDP numbers are going to come out quarter to quarter. So I may start Thursday a couple minutes early so we can all watch that come out. Friday the 22nd, retail sales for UK. Again, 8:30 EST, we have core PCE price index. PCE, I think, is another inflation metric. Let's take a quick look. 30 days it's a monthly consumed by individual. Okay, so it's just another inflation metric. You go to Forex Factory, you can actually read these and read the details on these and what they are. So, but it's an inflation metric. Friday might actually add some volatility at 8:30 EST when we start the show, and then we have the consumer sentiment a little after that. So here's the thing about trading during these events, and this is something I talk about every single week. You can do a bracket trade. We just did a test bracket trade, and of course I went immediately into profit. And then because the data that came out, it was a nothing burger. So basically everything went up and then everything went down, like all within a very short time. So unless you're really, really nimble, then you're going to lose money on bracket trading. Like, don't bracket trade unless you have practiced, you've tested it, you've gone back, you've looked at the way things operate, and you have a really good idea of how that works. And then when you start bracket trading, like any other algorithm, you want to test that a bunch of times with either fake money or very little money, like I did. I just threw a couple $100 on it last Monday or Tuesday. So so I lost a little money. It wasn't a big deal. Not a full size trade, but that's that, right? So, all right, cool. We got 10 minutes left in the private show. Let me see if we got ourselves. We got a few people watching over in the in our private room. Let's see, do we have any comments in the chat? Monday morning, people must be asleep. We got a couple people watching on YouTube as well, so feel free to ask some questions. I guess I'll review the trade that I had. Let's see, is it here? No. I think it's going to be here. Nope. No. Okay, let's open up the load manual. Not new. Scheisse. Load layout. There we go. All right. This should be the right one. We just roll over to BTC. This trade was great. This was actually, okay, I think I looked at Binance. Love when people say Binance. It's Binance. Binance. It's like you're old. Maybe I looked on KuCoin. And maybe I erased everything. All right, so I'll tell you how it went, though. First of all, I had a successful trade on the way down. Okay, so I'm just going to review this I don't know where my data is. I must have erased it all. I probably did because I erase everything when it's done. Now, if you look on Twitter, you can see a review of what happened. But I had a trade, and had I stayed in the trade, the original trade, I actually would have continued and made money. But that's okay because I even made more, right? So the original trade looked like this. This was it right here. It was a 1-to-1. Right. And I, excuse me, I did have my stop pretty deep because Bitcoin is Bitcoin, right? So I don't generally have tight stops in Bitcoin. If I do have tight stops on Bitcoin, then it's going to be, let me zoom this in. Sorry, folks. If I have tight stops in Bitcoin, then it's a smaller trade because just Bitcoin has a certain volatility and it can mess with you. So I had a stop right above this structure that you see, this where that 3 Roman numerals, and that 3 Roman numerals nothing to do with my trade. It's part of something else, but it's part of that indicator you see. But my stop was up there. Now it didn't have to be that tight, right, above this little area, but you don't know what it has to be, right? You know what it might be. You don't know the future. And it went pretty much down. Now I had deeper targets than this, right? But the problem was that I had some indication that price might want to turn around and even go long. In fact, there was a bunch of liquidity up at 43,000. I'm like, oh, price might head up there. And here it is. This was where I got out. So I actually must have gotten out lower. I thought I only had a 1-to-1 on this, but I guess I did better because I remember this right here. Oops, I'm gonna do that. Sorry, folks. Let's do this right here. This move down and then that poke up. I got out pretty much right before this hard move up. Okay. I still think it was a 1-to-1, so maybe my stop was higher. I don't know, whatever, right? So, but this is basically the trade. So I got out before that move up. And then it poked down. You can see where price pushed down really hard. And then it started to rally up. So I'm like, okay, this is probably going to go up. So I took a long trade. And all this stuff was done in front of the entire, group. So everybody got to see what I did here. I entered something like this. And then, and the trade looked like this going up to, I think, 43,000-ish, a little higher. So it was a really nice looking trade. As far as risk to reward, right? I was up to 43 something. I have to look at where the liquidity is. I think it's 43.6, if I'm not mistaken, 43.5. So I had that trade on, and then I could tell pretty quickly, because I have algorithms that tell me when to get in, when to get out, and I got out as price told me through my algos that it was not going to go up. So I'd lost like, I don't know, $10. I mean, it was like nothing, right? I lost fees. And then as the downward move kind of materialized, I went ahead and took a short. And I took a short, and it looked like this, if I'm not mistaken. I wish I do have it. I have the data. Give me 1 second to look on a different screen. Okay, what time frame is this on? It's a 5 minute. So let me roll to the 5 minute because that's where we, that's where the actual bit was. All right, so the initial trade looked just like this. Let's see where I'm just looking at them, comparing the price action. Okay, I got in about here. And I have my stop above this structure right there. And then the trade went all the way down to here. And as you can see, price started to go up. Now, I could have held on and it would have gone a little lower, but it pretty much, I got it right where it basically turned around over time. So this is, in and of itself, beautiful trade. It's better than a 1-to-1, right? This is exactly what it looked like. And then on the way down, I was doing like a little scalp, right? So this is a 1.6-to-1. And I noticed the algos said, my algo that I built said I could go again. And so I entered this trade on this downward move right here, basically right there. And I had a stop loss above very recent price action, like super recent. But this is like a 2-to-1. It was better than that, I think, actually. I think I entered a little higher. Because I remember I got some really nice risk to reward off this. Now, the trade size was half of what this was, and yet I like still doubled my money because I had a way better risk to reward ratio down here. So, I won 2 different trades, and this second trade, of course, I won within 45 minutes, which is really beautiful. So that's what I did here, folks. I mean, actually, this was the entry. That is the trade. I entered back here, but same thing. So pretty tight stop. And I was like, you know what? I don't know if this is going to work out. As price rallied back up, it looked like the trade was going to go up, but it was a small trade. It was like half the size of the regular trade because of the risk. And yet the super nice risk to reward ratio meant that I made more money on this trade than I did on the bigger trade, right? Now, the bigger trade, I could have had a tighter stop, but the way Bitcoin is, you don't know that it's not going to go up and grab that liquidity, right? When you set things up, you set it up based on probabilities, and probabilistically, there's a good chance price would have gone all the way up and taken me out. So it was awesome. It was done live. It was done in front of everybody. So everybody got to see it happen, unfold right in front of them, both those trades. So there's a lot of that. There's more of that to come. So in the meantime, we are nearing the end of the free to the public live lab. So via the Gorilla, sir, can you feel free to make any comments you want to make, and then get us out of here. Let's go over to the private.
Yeah, listen, guys, listen. It's the end of the year. Gift yourself the gift that keeps on gifting. And that's what I'm talking about is Algo Factory Tech for less than the price of a bottle of water per day. That is $1.66. You can learn the skills that you need to work from anywhere in the world, in any market. You could be on a beach in Bali picking lint from your belly button and still make money. In other words, we are teaching you the very fundamentals of true financial freedom. Join us, algofactory.tech, scan the QR code, click the link, make it happen for yourself. $1.66 a day, folks. It's mind-blowing. Giving it away for free practically. With that being said, Cowboy, let's get into the private room.